Oh, is it McDonald's is always decaf?
Mm.
Or he just
I always
for
drink
that all
their
the time?
I always drink their decaf, so I can have it whenever
Gotcha.
he wanders home from work. Yeah.
Oh, is it McDonald's?
I can work on a different floor.
Haha. All right. So all right, so we're live. So
We're there?
we'll just say welcome to anybody who shows up. I'm just going to play around. I will get the messages going.
Oh, good idea. Good idea.
And yeah, we'll just wait for, we can just chit chat for a little bit while we're waiting for people to show up.
I don't know if you caught this week's podcast for me that went up. Diana's working on the lace part of her Ome tee, which is like the bottom part of her t-shirt for her podcast anniversary knit along.
Oh, fantastic.
And I'm doing the half moon tee, nowhere near done. Like she has no sleeves. Like her sleeves are bound off because they're little cap sleeves. So you bind them off when you're done your increases and you're finished. So she's like, I only have 9 rows of lace repeat to do. And I'm like, I have a whole freaking fingering body still to knit. And we're different sizes. Son of a
Hey.
water buffalo.
Oh my God. Hey, James is here and Kayla, Susan, and Susie. Hi guys. How are you?
So I decided I would work my half moon tee while we did this live.
While we were just chatting, while we were just waiting for a few more people. Yeah. That's cute. Oh, I love the moons.
It's motifs. Upside down, obviously. But it's the half moon tee by Dragon Horde Designs. They look up half moon tee on Ravelry, it shows up. Yeah. It's supposed to be cropped. I'm making mine fingering. It's supposed to have elbow length sleeves. I feel like this is probably going to need full sleeves, so it's a super lightweight, like sweater full length sleeve t-shirt sort of deal.
Yeah, I'm not so much into cropped stuff.
It doesn't necessarily always look good on me, so I have to be careful with the proportions. But yeah. With capris and some walking shorts or like walking boots and capris and stuff, because obviously my boots come up to my knees, or my knee-high boots and pants and things. Yeah, like, that'll look great. I just had
Katie.
Miles and miles of in the body round knitting to do.
To go, yeah. Okay.
Oh, I did get my knitting needles in from my parents for my Valentine's Day present. My mom put it in the mail last week.
Oh, so you should be getting it anytime now?
I got them yesterday. So
good.
Yeah, they're I asked for 4, expecting 2. I got all 4. So I have 2 new 4mm needles. So I might just do my sleeves and get them done.
Fantastic. You're set to go.
Who knows? Hey, are we good to go?
Sabrina and Katie have joined us too.
Wonderful. Everyone's excited?
I think we're good to go. I'm excited. I have been waiting all day to see. Okay, so before we show off our sweaters.
Okay.
Because, okay, so we should welcome everybody. We just started chatting. Of the 2-week bulky sweater knitting knit challenge, whatever we wanted to call it.
I keep calling it a sweater off.
Sweater off. That's it. I know. Sweater off. I like that. Okay. I should get that stuck in my head, that term, sweater off. So you had a few challenges. So before let's back up before we do the big reveal. Like my knitting, I hate to even say this because I feel like if I say this too many times, I'm going to jinx the whole rest of the year of my knitting, right? Yep. But it went smooth and easy. And the only time I had to pull anything out was 2 weeks ago, right after we cast on the Thursday night. No, maybe it was the next night, the Friday. I was trying to do raglan increases and talk at the same time. So I just had to do a little bit of a backtrack there. But other than that, it went amazingly well.
Hey, Yes, you have cursed yourself for the rest of the year. Have fun, enjoy
I
that.
know. I'm probably gonna have to pull out every other project I cast on for the whole rest of the year just to like even out the karma here on that comment.
I would not risk the karma gods, Leslie. Not risk the karma gods,
I
Leslie.
know.
My swatch went great. I got the fabric that I wanted on the swatch for the
Yeah.
sweater. I worked on the habanero, and I was super excited to do the work on it. My complications had nothing to do with my knits and everything to do with the fact I threw my back out.
Yes.
So Monday through pretty much Friday last week, I was roughly out of commission. I got incrementally improved each day, but I couldn't. So, like Monday, I could only sit for 5 or 10 minutes at a time. So, my positions were standing or lying down, and I was in a lot of pain. So, it was a lot of lying down with my arms stick straight beside me because my shoulders, right? Your back's connected to everything. It's a shock,
Yep.
I know, but it always surprises me when I learn this.
Yep.
So, I didn't really knit on it from Sunday to Thursday. Like I'd done body work, but I hadn't really put in as much work as I needed to do. So I was under a heavy time crunch this week to get it done. Heavy time crunch. There were some late night knitting videos on my Instagram.
I
Because
yes.
up
Two
late.
o'clock, 2 o'clock in the morning, I think one was.
I was up late working. There has been a lot of very long days, and I can't have caffeine. So there's been a lot of very long days. So no dark chocolate, no coffee, no pop with caffeine in it. None. I can't do no caffeine tea. I can't have caffeine. So I'm sitting here. My brother-in-law got home from work, and he has all of my little McDonald's club cards that are all filled in. And he decided he wanted fast food for dinner, so he got himself fast food and he brought me home a decaf coffee.
Nice. Nice. All right. So, did you get your sweater done?
Dun dun dun! I wove an ends at 5 o'clock
Oh my gosh.
because I wasn't allowed to work on it till 5 because 9 to 5 is the business day hours. Just arbitrarily chose 8 hours and God, you can't work on them during those 8 hours. So here we go. One. Oh,
Okay,
sweater.
let's see it.
Ta-da.
I cannot believe you got it finished. I'm giving you a round. Oh my gosh, with lace. And look how long that body is.
Oh yeah, it's not a short body. This is a lot of body. It goes
Oh my gosh.
pre-blocking. This hangs right at the lowest part of my buttocks.
Okay.
So once we've blocked, we'll hang a little bit farther down.
Yeah.
Because I got to block the lace part out. So we're going to have some growth in that way. So it is the perfect length. The fabric drape is wonderful because it's so light and so sheer. This is going to be a delight to wear in the spring and early summer. Not late summer because I barely wear clothes at plus 40 Celsius. Never mind layers. That's just it's not happening.
Not that hot.
Oh, we get that hot. We go to both extremes here. But I did end up going with elbow length sleeves rather than a full sleeve.
Yes, I saw that on your live. But I think that actually will work out better for what you want to wear it with, right? In like the early like spring, early summer like thing. You're probably not going to want a really long sleeve anyways.
No. I spent about an hour,
it was choice.
hour and a half trying to make that decision when the sleeve got down to the elbow length, just standing in front of the mirror. I'm sure my cat thought I'd lost my mind. So I'm standing in front of the mirror talking to my mom on the phone, going, do I, don't I? There was a whole kerfuffle. There was a bunch of talking. I was like, nah, it's the right choice. And since I put it on, because obviously you finish it, what's the first thing you do? You put it on. And the elbow length were the sleeve length to go with. Yeah. Oh yeah. It's so light and airy and drapey. If it had been a full sleeve, the sleeve would have felt too heavy.
Yeah, totally.
Feel.
Oh my gosh! Well, congratulations. So we've got some more people. So Natalie has joined us. Sabrina, did I say hi to you? Oh, look at that lace.
But that's not all the lace charts because my row count, like my row gauge, way off. It usually is. So I'm going to redo this.
Really?
I'm going to redo this in a bulky so I get like a nice thick bulky sweater out of it. But I'm going to do it now that I've done the pattern once and I know it better than you do when you have never knit a pattern before. I'm going to modify it so that the back is my back width, which is the 47-inch size, but my front panels are for the 52. So that way they'll go around the girls. So the button band makes sense at that point.
Okay, gotcha.
And I'm going to have to gauge swatch up in my needles of 50 billion amounts. There'll be a lot of things going on. So, but that's a project for fall, I think. But I'm, because I wove in my ends, and trust me, like by Monday night, I was like weaving in my ends while I was doing this. That was a mistake. I shouldn't have done that. It took extra time. What was I thinking? I'll never be done. So happy I wove in my ends as I went because I had 3 ends to weave in at 5 p.m. today, which is when I'm allowed to pick up the knit on a work day. So I wove them while I waited for my dinner.
I use every minute.
Yeah.
Look at that. Oh, it looks perfect on you.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, the shoulders are good. It needs a blocking. Like I'm still sitting a little high, but I've not washed and blocked this yet. So once it's washed and blocked, it'll sit a lot better. But I did it.
Well,
problems and all. She got done.
I can't believe you. That's amazing. So, okay. So and I couldn't resist. Like I had to keep posting updates on mine pretty much every day because I was just so excited. I couldn't help it.
Oh, I watched them all and went in a panic. Ah! Louise is kicking my butt. And let's be honest, I did not finish till 2 a.m. last night. That is when I found off. So you finished first because I suspect you were done before 2 a.m. Thursday, or 2 a.m. Thursday morning.
I was. Well, yes. And yes, I was in bed, sound asleep at that time. I finished mine. So this is mine. So I finished my sweater as well.
Yep.
And here it is.
Ah, that looks so good.
So I love it.
Looks so good.
It is just a top down raglan using my gauge to garment process. Mm-hmm. So I didn't follow a pattern. I just took my measurements. I took my gauge, did the appropriate math, cast on, increased, tried on as I was going. And I love it. I was just wanting something plain and simple, right? Something to just throw on every night. Well, every day. Where, like my black cardigan that I wear like all the time. Mm-hmm. This is what I wanted, right? Something that I could just wear on, wear it to work, wear it at home, wear it on weekends, wear it everywhere.
Oh yeah. I mean, I've got tons of colorful cardigans and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like the one I traded out for this one is one I made out of cotton and I crocheted. So like I have tons of stripy, fun cardigans and things, but I don't have a ton of plain cardigans, and I'm a cardigan more than pullover wearer. So
me too. I have knit, well, like behind me, I have 2 lovely pullovers.
Yeah.
That I don't wear. I wear cardigans. So I'm like, why am I knitting pullovers? This is silly. So I know I can't. I almost wore this to work today. And I didn't. I left it. So last night, did you see my post? I decided that I didn't like my cuff.
Yes.
So I had I don't know what I was thinking, because I had done a garter stitch collar. Mm-hmm. I don't know if you can see that real well, how dark it is. I did the garter stitch collar, and I did garter stitch bands down the front. Mm-hmm. And Susanna and Sally and Jill are all here.
Woohoo!
Zakia's here too. Hey, Zakia finished her sweater about 30 minutes ago.
Yeah, doing it under the wire.
Right on. So,
it was hard to get out of bed this morning. It was hard. I was like, I am not 18. I cannot go to bed at 2 a.m. and get up at 8 anymore. I am not
pull all-nighters anymore.
I am too old for this. So the first person I called is my mommy, because I'm and complained like the adult that I am. And she went, okay, I've got you on the phone. You're going to help me defrag my computer. Oh, jeez.
Oh, gosh. Well, at least well, no, no, like I said. So anyways, yeah. So last night while I was doing a Zoom chat with some knitting friends that we always get together, I unraveled the second cuff because so I was saying like I was just putting on these garter stitch collars and front bands, but somehow I got in my head that I thought, oh, I think I need a little fancy detail on the cuff. So I decided that I would rib it and put some cables in there because the fact that it didn't match at that particular moment didn't
Didn't
seem to
matter.
bother me. Nah, I'm like, "Yeah, it'll be all right." And I did it and I looked at the sleeve and I'm like, I don't know. And I tried it on and it was like, oh, yes.
If you had done a little cable detailing down the body,
Well,
then like little cable detailing in the cuff would have matched beautifully.
it
But
would
you
have,
but you didn't have any balance for that cable. So yeah, I
yeah,
can see how your brain went, oh, that'll be pretty, but wait.
I know. And I had thought, so maybe yeah. And I had thought, I was actually thinking kind of in the center back,
Yeah.
I was going to do a little cable detail. And then I had thought about running it down the
I love a beautiful detailed cable on the back of a sweater
me
or on the
too.
back of a cardigan or a coat. It just, and I wear a backpack, so 2/3 of it's covered. It doesn't matter. It's so pretty and it's so sharp and it just gives this beautiful line.
I I agree.
So nice. So nice. There, I think it's Hohilo Catelli has one, like it's her ranch one. I think it's called Ranch.
Okay.
Completely wrong. There is no Diana here to monitor my English, which is technically Jocelyn. It's its own language. We're just gonna have to do the best we can, people. But it's a beautiful Aran weight 3/4 length like coat sweater thing with a hood.
Yeah.
She did hers in a dark green. And I think it's Hohilo Catelli. I could be very wrong, but it's got this beautiful intricate cable pattern running right down center back.
Mm.
Oh, oh, I want to make that so bad. So, and I hate cabling. I want to make it so bad.
Well, and I think I had kind of thought that's what I was going to do, but I just once I got um knitting on this, I just really loved just the simple and the plain and easy.
Yeah,
And I thought, okay, no, I'll just skip all that, just knit round and round. It was so relaxing. And I thought, I'll just put a little detail on the cuff, right? But then, yeah, I didn't like it. So I pulled it out and picked up the stitches and just added the garter stitch on it. And as soon as I did it, I was like, oh, so much better.
excellent.
So yeah, so it's just like, it's so warm. I love it. I love it. I can't see myself. Hold on, let me do this. There, I get rid of that. So now I can see.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm happy. And you want to know the best part?
sure.
This is what I had left of my yarn. I knew, and I wasn't even panicking because I wasn't even watching. I had no idea how close I was getting.
Okay. Well, that helps.
I
I
know. So
have
I didn't even know that I should have been worrying
I
until
have
I was all done.
300 grams left over. Like I'm
Okay. Well, you
but
said you had lots.
well, I had a sweater's quantity to do a worse or to do a bulky sweater, right? So like I had 20, I think it's like 24 for me. It's 2,400 for me for to do a worsted
Okay.
or like a worsted is anywhere from like 2,200 to 2,400, right? Depending on the length of the sweater and the
Right.
extra.
Right.
So I had enough to do the harvest cardigan at the 52-inch size, which was what this had originally been made up into, and I had to rip it out because it was too big everywhere but the chest. So when I ripped it out, rolled up all the balls, by moving to the bulky, I got a heck of a lot of mileage for my worsted weight yarn because
Right.
it's so airy. There's so much airspace in here. Like I'm gonna pill like crazy person. Don't.
Yeah.
It's gonna look amazing, so I don't care. I can handle some pilling. I know what I need to do.
Well, you can like get rid of it, right?
Yeah, it's a gleaner or in my case a dull razor, and
Yeah.
and it's done. It's dealt with easily enough, so it's not a problem. So, but yeah, I have enough for a whole other sweater.
So yeah, yarn chicken wasn't even in your realm of possibility thinking.
Nope, not even remotely.
This is what I had. I had eight skeins of this yarn.
Woo.
And this is what was left over of number 8.
Hey, well, you got through a lot of stash.
I did, didn't I? This is going in my ball band box, you guys.
Yep.
I know. This is going to up my yardage. I love it.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm really happy because partway through, when I was finishing sleeve number 1, I weighed my yarn.
Okay.
Because, to see, and it was accurate. I weighed my yarn, then I knit 2. I think I just did 2 rows. I don't think I did 4. I'm pretty sure I just did 2, and I weighed my ball again.
Okay.
So I knew how many grams it was taking per row, and then I figured out my row gauge, and then the length that I wanted the sweater to be. Did the math, figured out how many rows that was going to be times how many grams, and it told me that I was going to be fine.
Excellent. And it was right. You were right on. My row gauge is always off. Always off. My knit gauge, like your regular gauge, it's fine.
Yeah.
Like once I'm on gauge in my swatches, I've never been off gauge outside of my swatches. Noting that if I bother to swatch, I do it properly. It gets washed, it gets blocked, it sets, it's allowed to do its thing before I do the measuring and stuff. Like I don't skip the steps. If I'm gonna do it, I'll do it right. It's a narrow swatch, but it's still, because I know my row gauge is off, so I don't even bother. Like I know my row gauge is always off, whatever, I don't care. I need the gauge around, the gauge up and down. I always build an extra leftover extras, so it's fine.
Yeah, you can fudge that. Yeah, you can't fudge your stitch gauge.
No.
Gauge you can play with.
No.
Yes.
No.
I know. I know. I know. I just like, oh, I know.
Now,
like,
will I wing it if I've made a couple of sweaters at a set size? Yes. Do I always gauge swatch? No. No, I don't. I do not always gauge swatch. I will. I'm comfortable doing it without a gauge swatch all the time, only because my tension from day 1 has been steady. So there is no wide variations for me. Like I don't have tension differential ever. It's just whatever tension I've started the project with, that is the tension I finish the project with. There's no change in it for me. So I'm comfortable there because I know how steady it is. I don't recommend it for people who have tension issues, because you need to know. You need to know. You need to know.
Or at least you have to double check, right? Like once you get so much done, you've got to take a look at it and like listen to that gut feeling, right? If you think, oh, it looks small, or oh, it looks big, you have to measure it or put it up against a sweater you already own. Like you have to double check it sometimes, like somehow, right?
Yeah.
Either check your gauge, measure something, because there's so many times people will say they finish their sweater and they're like, oh, it doesn't fit. And I'm like, oh, and and I don't want to, like, how do you say, like, I'm like, well, did you check it while you were knitting it? And they're like, well, no, I just knit it. I'm like,
okay. Well, you took the risk, and it pans out sometimes, and sometimes it doesn't. I also have a backup. My sister is 2 inches shorter than I am, and she likes baggy clothes. I have a 14-year-old niece. I have a 5'5" mother. They are all great knitwear recipients. They get a lot of the stuff that I make. That is, it's beautiful, but the color's slightly off, and it would look better on mom. Or, I did it to pattern, and I wanted to be done, so I bound off early, knowing it was going to be a touch short. And if it bothered me, maybe my sister will like it. So they always find homes for me, but not everybody has that option.
Yeah.
Like I crocheted a summer nights cardigan. Beautiful lace paneling, looked gorgeous. I put it on my mom, who is 5'5", almost 5'5", and Native American dark, because she is Métis and she looks Native American. Indigenous First Nations. My mom likes Native American, so that's the terminology I use. And it looked so much better on her. The colors I was like, well, that's not coming back to me anymore. And she just looked at me and she's like, well, you can make me another one. I'm like, why? That looks better on you. I'll just make another one. Now I'm grumpy about it. You have to buy me yarn. Mom's like, okay. She's like, this is going home with mommy. I like it. I'm like, I'm freaking.
That's not a bad thing, actually.
No, I have a backup plan built into
Yeah.
this sort of free will and hippie knitting lifestyle I have. Not always an option for people. So,
Yeah.
like, say the half moon tea is way off. I didn't do a gauge swatch for it, so it won't be. I know the niece will take it off my hands. This is so her thing. She's like me, loud colors,
Well, well,
big
that's
pattern.
good as long as it'll fit somebody. So, oh, hey, Beth has joined us.
Hey, Beth.
And somebody said, who was it? Somebody said that your half moon tea looked lovely.
It does. I
It did
am
look lovely. I'm not sure
wanting
who said it
to put
now.
this on.
Uh-oh. Natalie's reminding me about my ice fall sweater.
Oh, well, everybody has to remind you about your icefall sweater.
I know. Well, I better just finish it so then people are gonna have to find something else to talk about.
I think you should finish it and then not tell anybody.
I know, and then just casually have it on one Friday night while we're doing our Fiber Friends live, right?
Yes, when people freak out, they're like, "It's finally done," and you're like, "What? This thing? Man, I finished it months ago."
That's right. Well, now that I have this like great sweater knitting vibe going, like I can just like whip them out like crazy, right?
Oh, it was Asa did point out to me that if I focused, I could do this with all of my knits, and I laughed at her and said I could. I'm not going to, but it's sweet that we both know it's possible. I'll do it again next year when we do this again.
I know. I know. I kind of like I know. I don't know how long it's going to last, right? Cuz I'm all like I love this. Like, "Oh my gosh. Look what you can get done when you like knit on one thing." It's amazing.
I'm
But,
so
partway
bored, so bored by Sunday night. I am not good at staying focused on one project. It's why I have 5 sewing projects on the go at all times. It's why I constantly have things. I don't like monotony or like monogamous knitting or crafting. It's not something I'm into, which
yeah.
is my kind of crafting. Some people love it. I think that's totally cool.
Yeah, do what you like, right? And um oh, okay. So, I think our comments were behind. So, yeah. So, Susanna did, yeah. So, so Susanna asked if you'd shown your sweater, but I'm sure she can see now that you are wearing it. And, oh, Ezekiel says, congratulations.
Woohoo! We
Yeah,
did it.
we did it. I know. Oh my gosh, this was amazing.
Next year, I'm up in the challenge. I'm going to try worsted weight.
Okay, I would be up for that.
I'm like, bulky, I could have breezed through if I hadn't injured my back. So, like, worsted, that's a challenge I'll take on.
Okay. I know. And because I could have easily had this done on the weekend,
Yeah.
but I slowed down knitting on it and I worked on some other things in between because because- which almost I was afraid would come back to bite me because I was thinking, oh, I have all this time. I'll just work on my sock, and then I thought,
This
oh my gosh, what actually happens if I yeah, need to reknit a sleeve or something, and I haven't left myself enough time. But the end it was all good.
Yep, famous last words. I've done it to myself.
I know, right? You get too overconfident and then yeah,
I have
not good.
no sense of time. No sense of time. I'm working my way through the podcast anniversary, which is due at the end of March. And of course, I'm chatting with Jamie from Cozy Up Knits, and she's like, "We're doing a stripe along." So I'm like jumping in on that. And that's the 1st of April. It's all garment. So it's just like,
I know. Well, see, you have the same problem that I do. Like you just can't say no, right?
well, I firmly said no to Sock Madness, and I will
Oh
continue
well.
to say no to Sock Madness. That is not the kind of madness I'm in for.
I for Sock Madness, I am saying no to this year,
Okay.
but next year I think I would like to try it. Not that I, of course, have any hope like of winning or anything, but I would like to do it the next couple of years just to see if I could get like 1 week further
Yeah,
every few years, see if I could get a little farther.
that makes sense.
I don't know. There's just something about it that seems a little interesting.
if again, and I said it on Friday, if I can knit a pair of socks in 2 months, oh, victory, victory.
But now some of us, like we have said, Karen sent me a message because I would like to do, oh, and Asa had mentioned too, we're kind of tossing around the idea of doing some kind of sock knitting challenge.
Yeah,
And
if it's a like a month in the time frame and stuff, like okay, that'd be a push for me, but I'd be game to try.
okay, you can sit this one out then.
2 weeks, I can't do. I can't.
Okay. Well, we were thinking Easter weekend.
A weekend?
A long weekend.
My God, that's 3 days. That's 3 days. That's 3 days.
Yo, don't you think you want to try it?
Yes, and yet no.
Well,
Probably will. No, I won't. I'm gonna cast on socks this weekend because I don't have socks on my needle, and I don't think I'll get socks done in time for Easter.
well, see, those could be my. Oh, did you see? Do you follow Verena? Knit. What is she? Knit, live, love.
Yes, I don't always catch all her posts though.
So she posted a few weeks ago. Oh, what did she have? 6 or 8 balls of yarn. She was going to knit socks for everybody in her family for Easter.
Oh my God.
I know.
Some people have that skill set, and I am in awe of it. I do not. What I do have is this February Fiberweed Fiber Co. Sock Club yarn. And
That's pretty.
this needs to become socks post haste.
Mm.
So it's living in my project bag that I won from the Knit Girls for their
Nice.
October Halloween craft all the things.
Yeah.
And my new Chaogu knitting needles arrived from my parents. So
oh my gosh, look at the orange flowers on that. I love that.
It's so cool.
I love that.
It's muted 60s flower print, and I loves it.
I love it.
It's a heavy duty canvas. Like
I like it.
Heavy duty canvas. So like I'm super excited and happy with it. But like these have to become socks now that I haven't even taken off the label from Hakari Handmade, which is the lady who made it and donated the prize, right? Because I did what I normally do, which is like, oh, there's a hashtag on Instagram for a thing. Sure, throw up some photos, use the hashtag, and then promptly forget I've entered anything. And so when I win, I find out because the ladies in Discord tell me. I have no idea what's going on.
So I have a couple sweater knitting questions for you.
Sure.
And
Ooh,
people,
show my let's roll to the back. Roll. Well, hello. Down the table.
Okay. Oh, let's see.
So there's my fit pre-blocking. Stand on tiptoes. Ow! Not tall enough.
Okay, I'm gonna try to move out of the way too without.
That's my fit pre-blocking. I didn't do the waist shaping or the hip shaping because my hips are smaller than the rest of me, obviously. But even when it's like blocked, like it's gonna sit here-ish, which would fit everywhere but the girls.
Yeah.
So it won't work. But if I make it so it fits the girls in the front and fits my back across the back,
yeah,
I could totally put a button band in and button it on a bulky. So super excited about that.
Okay.
The lace won't show up till I block the lace out. It just won't show because you need to block lace. That's a thing.
Yeah.
Oh, it looks so good.
Oh, I love this. It's just like a big, oops. I get myself back here where I'm supposed to be. Yeah, it's just like, oh, it's just so warm. And when I was knitting it and I had to like pick it up and turn it, every time I lifted it off my lap got cold and I like put it back down. It was just like so warm while I was knitting it, right?
See, whereas my fabric's so breezy, I didn't get warm at all. Knitting my lap. Like it was just a nice lightweight, like fingering weight sweater. Or like a DK sweater, like it just didn't have that weight you usually have with bulky weight sweaters, which I freaking love.
This does. This is just so nice and warm. So mine was a superwash merino.
Mhm.
What yours was wool of the Andes, which is what is it?
Mine is 100% Peruvian wool, so
Yeah,
it's not superwash.
yeah. Which typically I like better, but
I don't have a problem with either. I can wear both as I randomly change my hairstyle in the middle of a live because I do that a lot to people. Um, I haven't had bangs in a very long time, and I sort of
oh,
play around with the concept of bangs. But I've been a non-bang person since I was like a child.
I haven't had bangs in yeah, a lot of years either.
I do them occasionally, and then they never last, and I grow them back out because I'm more used to having really long hair. But I also grew up with a mother who got really mad when my hair was in my face. Whole
Oh,
series of arguments when you're a teenager and you try to hide your face, right?
I think that's a mom thing.
It's a mom thing. So that happened. Now I'm trying to grow out an undercut. So I've got hair that only goes to like the bottom of my neck. A longer because I buzzed the under half of my hair right off for the summer.
Oh, yeah, that'd be nice and cool.
I needed to. I have too much hair otherwise. I dye my hair to lose enough of it, and I thin it out severely so I can survive the summers.
Yeah,
It
that
just
makes
it's a
total
lot.
sense.
Yeah. So I have that. Everyone's like, "Oh, it's beautiful, thick, glorious hair," and it is. Don't get me wrong. It's very thick. It's very pretty. I do nothing for maintenance. I am super genetically blessed when it comes to my hair. Super
That's great.
genetically blessed when it comes to my hair, and I knows it. I knows it.
Listen to this. I'm Sabrina's already giving me a list here.
Mm.
So once I she says the European road trip shawl will replace the ice fall if I ever finish it.
No word of a lie. I have no interest in making that shawl at all.
Don't you see? And I do because it's going to be so wearable. And I've got it. Oh, I don't know. I'm like a quarter done, maybe. I'm not halfway.
Look,
Ah,
look at all this Chowgo goodness.
oh, that I love those needles.
And we supported local. Mostly I
Fantastic.
texted my mom. And I want these for my Valentine's Day presents. Can Daddy go buy them from the local one of the two local knitting stores in
Yeah.
Saskatoon? And she's like, yes, he can. So he went to one of the one he remembered. Halfway there. I'm in my 30s, and it's not uncommon for my dad to forget me everywhere all the time. Has done it my whole life. Who he is. Fine. The funny story is when we used to work in the same mall together, he would drive me home for family dinners every once in a while, and he would see me twice a day because he worked in the mall management, and I was manager of one of the stores. And he would see me in the morning and go, "I'm taking you home tonight for dinner." "Yes, Dad, you're taking me home tonight for dinner." I wouldn't drive down all the time because I was like a 10-minute walk from the mall to my apartment. Why would I drive my car? Why would I drive my car? What a waste. It'd be faster to walk than drive and park. It just was. Come back the second time. Oh, I'm excited. We're going to take you home. I'll be done work at this time. Okay, I'll make sure I'm done. He'd get
I
all the
know
way home.
I know where this is going.
Mom would he'd walk in, and my mom would be like, "You're short and human." And he'd turn around and walk back out, calling me on the phone. "Ah, I'm going to be late to pick you up, kid." Fine, Dad. I'm sitting in the back room drinking a coffee. It's good. You just come get back. Mom's probably laughing at you.
Well, if he keeps buying your Chowgoo needles, maybe that'll make up for it, right?
He also randomly shows up at home with flowers for my mom.
Oh, that's
Just that kind of guy. Of course, we all ask him what he did or what he wants. And he goes, "Nothing."
right.
Okay.
That's right. It's gonna be another
Whole other day. But yeah, no,
oh,
Dad's good that way. So I sent 4 options and said whichever one or two, because Chowgoos are not the cheapest needles. And I get fixed, not interchangeables, because I can't use a little Allen key to connect
oh
them.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I didn't expect all 4. All 4.
You got spoiled.
Spoiled. Oh, I got spoiled.
Oh,
And
that's
my
good.
birthday's
Fantastic.
coming up shortly too, so I get money for that though.
And then what's that going to go into into yarn?
I'm gonna buy myself fancy new cotton sheets because I feel like it's time to replace one of my cotton sheet sets. So I'm gonna buy fancy cotton sheets and either wool pillows,
Hmm.
or I'm going to get myself a new yoga mat.
Oh, look at that.
Because I'm not one of those want to do yoga. I've done yoga for over 20 years. I just do it. It's a part of my routine.
I did. I have been doing yoga. I started my day today with yoga,
I
and
every
you
day.
guys, I know you guys are gonna like just like I can just hear the what you're gonna think, but I love doing it. Why didn't I start?
Every day. My first family physician, who was the doctor who gave birth to me, recommended yoga when I turned 13, and I started having, good warning, boys, I'm going to talk girly stuff. We first started having cramps because we were having problems with pain management, and I can't take painkillers. So he went, it's a stretching problem for a lot of women. We just don't use those muscles and we don't stretch them properly. He's like, add that to the fact that you've got a fairly long torso. He's like,
Like,
you run the risk of back problems. He wasn't wrong. So he had me start doing yoga just at home, just a nice daily routine to
yeah,
stretch, get ready, start the day. And I've done it for years and I don't have cramps. Not as in I just don't have them. I don't suffer bloating, I don't get cramps. It for me, because they weren't that bad, it took it all away. I know for some of my other girlfriends who have really bad ones, it helps minimize that discomfort for
yeah.
them because it's just stretching. So my morning is a cup of turmeric ginger tea right now and a yoga routine, and then my day starts
Well,
after feeding the cat because cats don't wait.
cats
Cat,
don't wait. No, they don't. I know.
he's
So I
sleeping
started.
right down there.
I can stroke one. Well, I mean, I'm not really. I'm just kind of playing around. I do a few poses, and
Yep.
I love it. I
Oh, it's
love it.
great. It wakes me up. I start my day. I'm loose and I'm limber. Nothing hurts
Yeah,
unless I've done something to myself. Nothing's pinched, and I'm relaxed. I'm not all tense and tight from what bad night's sleeps or whatever that those happen. So, but no, I love it. I do it every day. You might not be an everyday yoga person, and that's okay.
no, but the more I'm doing it, because I feel so much better after I do it,
Mhm.
makes me want to do it again the next morning.
Yeah. Yeah, I like it. Centers me, it focuses me, it just makes
Yeah,
my morning go. I'm more productive because of it.
yeah,
So
I think
it's
it's great.
good. Yeah. No, I'm super excited you did it and that you liked it.
Yeah, I did.
So good. And not harmful on our joints like some other exercises.
No, I know it's great. So okay, so what after? So you're half. So I'm like circling back to sweaters here. So you're
I
half.
could talk about this one. I've got a simple hug. There's an 8-bit I could show off. Like there are 3 here. I got the librarian pattern from Skein Deer Knits. I got yarn up there to cast that on, and that is a not cabled cable pattern.
Oh, is it
Yeah.
twisted stitches or? Oh,
She uses. I don't know. I haven't read through the pattern far enough, but I was watching her little preview where Skein Deer Knits, and she shows you the pattern she makes, right? And she's showing up this beautiful sweater. She calls it the librarian. It's her new
yeah.
one. And I'm like, I need it. I needs it. I needs it. I want it. I needs it now.
I love her. Anyways, I love her. I love all her designs.
It's so sweet. She's so nice.
Yeah.
I'm like, you are adorable. I need to know
She
you
is.
in real life.
I
You're
would love to meet
huggable.
her.
You're one of those insta huggy people. Like I'm just gonna
Yeah.
enjoy a cup of tea, hugging you and knitting. Oh, it's gonna be good.
Hey,
My
okay,
loud
so
brush stuff.
sweater question for you.
Yeah, go for it. Now that I'm
Uh,
fully into sweater knitting.
down or bottom up?
Oh, I'm sorry, you froze up there for a bit for me on a second.
Oh, with
That's okay.
whoops, sorry. Oh, I know, sorry. Um, top down or bottom up, or does it matter?
Top down, but I will do bottom up.
Okay.
My 8-bit, which I can show, is bottom up. You're not my 8-bit. You're my simple hug. You back there. Stand upright, 50 million project bags, and they're almost all Halloween. I love Halloween.
The back of your sweater looks so pretty.
It looks so good. So good. Okay, I gotta watch this yarn because this is the Briggs and Little yarn, and my cat will run away with this yarn and marry it. So the 8-bit, which I can turn right side out for everybody, it's inside out right now, is because I knit in the round, it's inside out. Fine. It's fine. It's just how I do. Its sleeves were done first.
Yes.
So and then you did the body. Okay. So like I can do body up. I've proven that now, and I don't mind body up. But my body up, I'm only switching the bottom part of the body here out.
Yeah,
My body up on this one, which was a mystery knit along that I obviously didn't finish on time, is all nerd themed.
Oh.
So that's what it looks like.
Gosh.
So like second color work project sweater ever. I am color working in the round, bottom up, hardcore color work, because this is a full color work sweater. And then to make my life even more interesting, because I know I have size differential issues. This is for size 47, 48 in the Briggs and Little Sport, and I'm steeking this up the middle and making it a cardigan. Because of course I am, guys. Second color work sweater ever. Like my second knit sweater ever.
And look at you. But
what was the worst that was going to happen? I had to rip it out and I didn't like it. This is not the end of the world.
No, I mean, that's going to happen eventually on something anyways. So yeah, go for it.
So, but all the patterning is different. So it's different on the sleeves and stuff. It's hard to show you because I've got sleeves grafted and I got stitches hanging out on needles because picking up.
I like that.
Stitches is hard.
What kind of yarn? Did you say what kind of yarn that was? What yarn?
This is Briggs and Little Sport in their gray and cream. But there's my steeking stripe right up the middle.
Pretty nice.
So like I am one chart and decreases away from finishing this.
Okay. Oh, do we need another challenge? You finish that. I'll finish my ice fall.
How far do you got for your ice fall? Because I've got a 12 row repeat chart plus my yoke decreases and neckline, and then I got a steek and pick up for my band in the middle. Or sew a zipper. I haven't decided. I've got as far as steeking it. That's it.
It's done. I've already steeked it. It's cut. Okay. All I have to do is do the button band.
Maybe. If I'm allowed to work at this without having to take the restriction of your work schedule into account, maybe.
Yeah.
Because then I can just work on it all the time.
Okay, here, I'm going to look in the comments here. So Donna Marie's joining us. She's saying hi from Alabama.
Woo, Alabama.
I know. And the Crafty Chemist is back. Oh, she did one sweater bottom up. Wasn't a fan of where the sleeves are added a little wonky depth-wise. Hangs too low for me.
See, and that's because I haven't put it on yet, so I'm not sure. I mean, obviously raglan works, but raglan's like that universal fits most people's sweater, which is all the patterns I do. So I might have to do some fiddling with bottom up. But it's a bit of a catch-22 because I'm either doing 22 inches of body knitting to finish a sweater, or I'm doing 22 inches of body knitting to start the sweater. So like, do I want the long haul at the front or the back end of the project? Yeah. Either way, it's going to happen.
And typically, I always do my sweaters bottom up. This is my first top-down sweater in quite a while.
Talk to me next week. Asa will kill me if I don't finish my shawl pattern this week. She'll bug me about it incessantly until I get it done.
And Donna Marie said, Jocelyn, when she knits in the round, hers is inside out too.
Thank you. I'm like, I cannot be the only one.
There you go.
The only one.
So, question. Are you opposed to knitting a sweater in pieces and seaming it?
Heavens no. My mallow cardigan, which I could get, is finished. It was like one of my first sweaters. It was done in pieces. Yeah. I love piecework, and I will say this about piecework. If you have varying body dimensions like I do, piecework is best, because then you can make those front pieces to fit your front, your back pieces to fit your back, and your sleeves to fit your arms. So it really allows for customization without having to do a lot of math. Now, you've got an amazing knitting background. So like you just do it in your head. I'm coming from a sewing background, so I'm already accustomed to making all of those design choices and changes. grafting patterns, like that's all stuff I'm very comfortable with.
Yeah.
So in my brain, I treat it like a sewing pattern. So I go, okay, but I know I need to do this to go here, and I know I need to dart it in to do that, like
Right.
decrease darts,
Right.
that sort of idea, in through the body, because that's how my body shape works, so that stuff fits me properly. Or it's a boxy sweater that has no shape and therefore it doesn't matter. In which case, pieces are sometimes nice because when your rows are this freaking long, when do you work on it? When
Yes.
do you work on it? This is my simple hug. This is the one I want to try to get done by April because it's Halloween stripes.
Oh, oh, it's pretty. I
Yeah,
like those colors together.
yeah. There,
Yeah.
it's a marled. Oops, let's hold it right side out. That'll help. It's marled because I'm holding fingering double.
Oh, that's what gives you the pretty
That
color.
gives you
Yeah,
that pretty marled look, yeah. And
nice.
I'm using all of my Halloween yarns, multiple Halloween project bags, multiple Halloween yarns. I like Halloween. Um, so I'm holding it with grays, blacks, whites.
It
You
looks,
get a nice color differential.
it's fun.
Yeah. So I want to have this done so I can wear it too. That, and if I have it done before April, I can put it in for another prize draw that I'll completely forget I've entered.
Well,
But yeah, I've got
do
sweaters on the go.
it.
A bottom up, I'll have to reserve judgment till I finish that 8-bit because it's my first
Ooh,
full bottom up to see how I like the fit officially when it's done.
you know what? I said that this was the first top down sweater I'd done in a long time.
Yeah.
That was wrong because because I have this one that I'm working on. So in the last, so these two sweaters are my first top down in quite a while. So this is the one. All it needs now is sleeves because the body's done on it.
Yeah.
And oh, and this one has a button band. I have to come back and pick up stitches for the button band.
Oh,
That's
stitches.
that obviously is my problem, coming back and picking up for the button band because that's where Icefall came to a screeching halt.
So it's the button bands are your curse.
Maybe that's it. So I cause see this one, I just added it on and I knit it as I went. Maybe that's what I just need to do forever and ever from here on out.
From
Because
now
yeah,
to the end of time.
that's right. Because this the thought I'm looking at this and I'm like, my heart is sinking. I'm like, oh my God.
It's a lot of stitches. My favorite button bands or detail edging on the front of your cardigans and stuff is that garter one. Is that, and everyone's just like, well, it's so nice. It's like so, I'm like, I love it because I'm just knitting. I'm knitting both sides and I can just go.
Just do.
And it's so nice. If I do that and I'm ribbing, oh man,
Yeah.
I'll pick up and then I'll immediately put it back down again and go work on something else to avoid the ribbing.
See, and that's it, right? See, and I'm like stopped one step before you is like I'm it's the picking up.
Oh, I like picking up.
Yeah.
I find it really relaxing to sit there and count and pick up stitches.
Yeah, okay. I need to think that I'll think of you as I'm having to do this. I
Well,
just yeah, I know. And you know,
you know, how many on the front, how many across the back, you put your little stitch markers in, or your,
yeah,
you know, clover progress keeper, so you know where you are, and you just count. You break it down. Do you have the right number of stitches in your count spaces?
I know. And it's funny, right? Because there's no reason why I shouldn't not like this because
I like to knit and I like to purl and I hate to rib. It makes no sense since ribbing is just knitting and purling. I will avoid ribbing so much.
this one has a slip stitch.
Ooh.
Yeah, because can you see there's this little detail here?
Oh no, I won't pick up the detail, but that's okay.
Oh yeah, so you get it's but you know what? It looks like it actually looks like ribbing, but it's slip stitches. So
See,
it looks
okay.
and
I
that's
like crochet ribbing,
oh,
but I don't like knit ribbing.
I don't like knit ribbing. Isn't that interesting? Isn't it funny, right? How some things we just you like or you don't, right?
Yep. It's just one way or the other. It is what it is. It's fine. It won't kill me.
Yeah. All right. So what is So the librarian. So because you've got a lot of sweaters already on the needles, but is the librarian going to be the next one you cast on?
Possibly. I got the yarn for it. I have the pattern for it. If I don't get distracted between now and cast on time.
That is always the problem. So
Oh,
librarian, how is it? So
hold on a minute.
is it a yoke sweater?
Yeah, I think so. I think well, it's bottom up for the librarian. So I didn't get much farther past than it's a bottom up sweater.
Okay.
But it looks like the patterning goes up all the way. So yeah, I would imagine yoke raglan decreases maybe. I'm not sure.
Yeah. Okay. But
Didn't read that far. Looked at a really pretty picture, watched the promo, really liked it, bought it, read the first half page, and went, if I keep reading, I'll cast it on, and I'm in the middle of a sweater off. I can't
that's right.
do
Focus,
that.
focus, focus.
Focus on what I'm doing. I mean, I've got Be Relentless mittens to finish and socks to cast on. Like, there's other things going on, so I'm not sure when the next sweater cast on will be.
Yep.
But as soon as I can swing it, I feel like I should finish maybe one more for sure before I pick up another one.
I think I should really finish I need to finish my ice file and I need to finish this one.
Yeah.
I can't let this languish without a button band on it. That would be bad.
That's sad.
Sabrina, Asa, and Amber will never let me do that. So I should just
No.
get her done.
Get her done.
But then I want to do, oh, well, I do have a summer. I started last year in one of my new starts. It was like a sleeveless sweater and it's all lace.
Ooh.
And I've only got like this much done on it. Like few, I don't know, 4 or 5 inches maybe done on it.
Okay.
And then it got set aside for brighter, shinier projects, right?
I do it all the time. I know.
I know, but I'm thinking maybe I should. And Asa has made me a countdown. Did you see that? She started me a countdown for me to have 0 whips by the end of this year.
I saw it and I was like,
Yeah, I'm gonna have to spend all my vacation time from work finishing all those projects I started last year. But this sweater is one of them. So
but
if I
mean, it'll be nice when they're done, but man, oh, you
but
started a lot of projects last year.
I know I did like 50.
Oh,
And but this sweater, it's all lace and it's in oranges. It's really, really pretty. So I'm thinking I should finish this pleated sweater,
yeah.
my ice fall, and then I should work on that summer one so I have it done in lots of time as soon as the weather. Because right now, you know what? Yesterday it was 7 degrees here.
Nice. We were
Yeah.
1 degree above zero today. I was out sitting in the front yard knitting with
Yeah.
fire with Fiberco.
I think nice. I think it got to 2 degrees today, but all this week is going to be above freezing. So it's like hopeful that spring is coming, which makes me think that I really should work on that summer sweater now. I
We
just
fell
want
back
to,
down to minus teens on Friday.
oh,
We're not close enough to spring yet. We've
I
still
know.
got about a month and a bit to go over here.
It'll get cold and it'll snow. Like it'll snow into May here too, but you know, I just want to be hopeful.
That's fair.
I have to. I'm like grasping onto any straw that spring is coming, right? So
Everyone gets excited in February for spring, and I start going, A, way too early. B, no. No. I'm
yeah,
fine. It's good. I
I
don't.
can't help it. I can't help it. I'm just so maybe knitting on a summer top
Might help.
will it'll help bring spring faster. That's my thinking.
Sure.
Oh, hey. Okay, so Olivia popped in here. She said, "Congrats on finishing your sweaters. I know, don't we look beautiful wearing them?"
I'm
And,
so excited.
and Sabrina says, "Oh, she says she hates crochet ribbing, but
That's,
loves ribbing and knitting."
that's fair. It's
That,
a weird stitch to do, and there's a couple ways to do it in the crochet, but it's odd.
well,
An odd duck. But I
see,
love crocheting, so it's just I have yet to run across a crochet technique that I don't enjoy. Yeah.
see, and this is what I love about all of the fiber crafts, right? Is that there's something for everybody. So if you don't like one thing, Move on to the next, right?
Absolutely.
Oh, so what is Donna Marie? She's she said Asa is very strict about her deadlines. Yes,
Yeah.
she is.
I warned her when she got the pattern notes for the shawl I'm working on.
Yeah.
They were notes that I had a sweater off, and I'm notorious for putting things down and walking away for 6 months. She had to understand that these three things were going to happen, whether she wanted them to or not. But her and Diana wanted those rough notes, so I gave it to them. It's fine. But I do mean rough notes
Yeah.
in Jocelyn. There's no punctuation. There's grammar is there, sorta. It's
I think
not
she
ready
can
for
figure it out.
not ready for public consumption. She did. I
Yeah.
her button stitch. God, I want to keep calling that the wrong name. Is different than mine because I didn't write a full pattern out. So I have space between my button rows and between my buttons. Diana has no space between her buttons, and Asa has no space between her buttons and no rows between her buttons because that's how they read my rough notes. I don't care. That all looks great. I'm super excited by it.
Work.
Works fine for me.
Oh, hey, Sabrina's got springtime weather where she is, like
Oh,
almost summertime. She has 75 degrees there.
that is definitely spring summer weather.
That is sit outside in a t-shirt weather. Oh,
Mhm.
Jill's here. Jill said the sweaters look wonderful. Oh,
Oh,
and Donna popped in saying wonderful job. I know. I'm like feeling like we are
oh,
like,
oh.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't. I'm not doing a sweater in 2 weeks again for a while. I need to be able to knit on other things. I need to be able to knit on other things.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Some nights I wanted something a little more complicated than straight knitting, and I knew it wasn't an option because I was working on this. So
because you just
I need
had to
to
do it.
I need to have a couple on the go. So
But you know what this has made me think though? A sweater in 1 month
totally doable.
is totally doable. Even mixing in, like I'm thinking, like I don't know. Do you think I'm totally crazy to think I could do a sweater and a pair of socks a month, plus the odd hat or cowl or something in there too?
I don't think so. No, if you're only deadlines for the month to month where the socks and the sweater, so like you could pick the hat up or put the hat down, pick the
Yeah,
cap up, but like you get the idea, right?
yeah,
If you were to do that, I don't think it's infeasible at all. I think it's quite achievable because you've got your sock knitting for on the go,
yeah.
downtime at work, when you're out visiting and stuff, but you got your sweater knitting for your binge watching TV days. For the day when you want to sit down with like something a bit beefier. I do the same thing. Like I can get a blanket done in a very short time frame. I usually don't. But like last year I managed 9 sweaters.
Wow. See, last year I got 5 sweaters done, and I think that was the most I had done. So
Yeah.
you did 9, so that's pretty close to 12.
Plus 3 couch throws, and I almost
Oh,
finished a size bed.
so totally you could have done 12 sweaters.
Totally could have done 12 sweaters.
Easy.
I'm not, if I could bring my sock knitting up to par, like I might put off casting the socks till the 1st of March, and I might try to do not 12 pairs, but try to get the rest of the year a month a pair. See if I can
Yeah.
just do that for a couple of months. Because I know if I do that, it's absolutely feasible to do socks and a sweater a month at the volume of knitting I do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and right now, because we're still like going nowhere.
Oh, I'm probably going nowhere till way into late September. If I'm lucky,
Yeah.
depending on vaccine rollout, because like I'm not 40 yet. So like I'm in the lower brackets for age ranges. So I might not be allowed out of my
So
house
lower
after I'm
down.
vaccinated in September, October, if we're lucky and we're on track.
So that
So
just
it's too early to
that
tell.
that means a lot of sweater knitting in your future.
Blankets, like I'm gonna be
Yeah.
home. Let's just be at home and do it. So
I know. This is my thing, maybe even once we can get out and about, I'm thinking I don't know if I want to, because this is gonna like really cut into my sweater knitting time now.
This year, in combination with the loss of friends that come with disability, when you get one, some people just can't handle it. They just can't, and it doesn't mean that they're
Yeah.
bad people. It just means that for them it's too much, and
Yeah.
it just really culled that friends list down to a very lean number. So I don't think my social habits are really going to bounce back when we're allowed to have them bounce back. 'Cause a lot of the people are for whatever reason that they choose, it's fine. I'm not worried about it. Aren't around anymore, and I don't necessarily want to have to put in the additional work to baby them to
Yeah.
help them deal with my disorder, because it's my disease. Like it's my disability. I really shouldn't have to help you deal with my problems. I really
Yeah.
should focus on me dealing with my problems.
Yes.
I shouldn't have to hold your hand, not as an adult. Like if you're a kid, absolutely I will hold your hand
Yeah.
and help you. You're a kid still. It's totally a thing. So there's a lot of
Yeah.
people I
That's totally different. Yeah. You don't have
stopped babying and I've just let go. Just like, you know what? It's not worth it. I'm stressing out about it. I don't need it. I don't need it.
to, you do
So
not need
I'm
that.
gonna be home a lot more than I used to be, which is, for an extroverted person, not the funnest. It does present me with some opportunities to maybe give that homemade house a try again. Like move over to a 90% or more homemade wardrobe, move into sewing for myself again, almost full time,
Yeah.
doing things like that, which will consume the next few years of my life
Yeah.
easily. Setting that up and doing those things. I still make things from scratch all the time. So, like, I spend 2 or 3 hours a day in the kitchen cooking. That is just a part of my day. So,
Mhm.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't think I'll do a lot of changes. It will
Hey, guess
get
what?
out.
Yeah.
But I think outside knitting events, I don't really see a ton of outages in my future. Farmer markets, maybe? I miss those. I'd like a
That's
farmer's market
okay.
again. Yeah, yeah. I could.
Spring. Hey, so we got Natalie just finished her sweater.
Woohoo!
I
Excellent.
know she
Let her.
was because it was back a few comments ago.
Yeah, and I'm unfortunately I'm relying entirely on you for comments.
Yeah, that's okay. Yes. And oh, and she's also Natalie also said she obsessively swatches.
Yes.
Yeah.
Some people do, some people don't. And I feel like if it's
Yeah.
what you're comfortable with, go for it. I'm an
Exactly.
occasional swatcher. I'm like a weekend swatcher. I'm a
Oh, so
watch.
Natalie's saying, yeah, so we encouraged her to get her sweater. So Natalie, this is the green sweater, I'm guessing. Because there was a group of us were going to go to Ohio back in September,
Okay.
and we were all going to knit green sweaters, different patterns, whatever we wanted, but just make a green sweater. And then there was a bunch of us going to meet up. And so Natalie, I know she dyed yarn for hers.
Nice.
And then she was knitting it, but she is kind of like you, or I know Natalie said on the Friday nights, right, that the stockinette portion was killing her, just the round and around boring knitting, right?
And again, it depends. Sometimes I'm book 4 into an 8-book epic fantasy series. It's 700 plus pages a book. I want stockinette for days. I want
Yeah,
stockinette for days.
go, yeah.
Sometimes I'm listening to my podcasts and I'm engaging in other things. I need something that doesn't require quite so much mileage to it, because I need to be able to pick it up and put it down and
Right.
send emails and texts and do other things.
Yeah.
Need to be able to get up and bug my cat.
Well, look at that.
Bugging a cat is the perk of being a cat owner.
True.
Mhm.
It's kind of payback for when they wake us up at like 3 in the morning.
I don't know what she was doing last night during my sleep cycle, but she must have been doing something, because I woke up and I had hucked 2 pillows at her. So I was thoroughly unimpressed with whatever noise she was making. I don't recall because I was really tired. But there was 2 pillows between my bed and the wall, so I must have got real mad at her.
She must have been the like, oh, I think you need to pet me now. I know. Daisy comes up to me and she'll like purr at like this obscenely loud volume. And then she'll take her paw and ever so gently tap the tip of my nose. And it's like,
Oh, you get face pats, do you?
yes, I know. We need to align our sleep schedules better, I think. Anyways,
Oh,
so Natalie said that once the deadline of our trip was gone, then all the motivation was gone. It was so boring. So yeah, I know that's the thing, right? When you have a deadline, that kind of motivates you, doesn't it, to keep you going?
it does for me. It's why I like them. I set arbitrary ones, and I participate in cows and stuff, but like my favorite is the summer stash dash.
Oh,
Big
yeah,
girls do, because you're only competing against yourself. You set your arbitrary goal. You're the one who decides how much you're going to go for, and it's a race against you, not nobody else. So like if you want to have huge numbers, and I do huge numbers every year because I like to challenge myself,
yeah.
that's great. Diana does 3K worth of yarn, and it's finished objects. Every bit of yardage counts. So like
Yeah.
if you did a row and bind off, you count the whole project
Oh, right, right.
to help you finish things. So I mean, I do it and I always go 10K or more. I want, so much more kilometers out, or 20K or more if I'm doing blankets or something. And I set obscene goals because that's where I'm happy. Diana sets realistic human goals. And that's what makes her happy. And we're both excited at the end if we've made our goals or not. And the only person we're competing against is ourselves. So Diana
Right.
doesn't have to kind of keep up with me. I'm not slowing down for Diana. Like we're just knitting and
Doing
doing
your
what
thing.
we like. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, that's yeah. See, and I don't do well with me because I set my goals and then I don't follow. I get distracted. I need somebody to keep me accountable because I'm just like, oh, I made the rule, I can break the rule, right? I can like, whatever. So I'm not so good with those.
I like because I like being able to go at the end of the stash dash. I go, I've done this much, miles in knitting. I've knit this many
Yeah.
miles this summer, or finished this many miles worth of projects this summer. Like that, to me, it's a very nice accomplishment to be able to
Yeah.
say. Yeah. So I
That's
get I
good
get a
for you.
fair bit of done in the summer for that purpose because it inspires me to pick up and do
Yeah.
more. Yeah.
Well, you know what? As I'm sitting here holding this sweater that I need to go back and work on.
Pick up a button band.
Yeah. You know
Get
what?
it done.
I'm going to do that before I pick up the sleeves. I'm going to do the button band. But you know what I've done? And I do this so often. I don't know where my needle went that I was knitting this on. And I'm sure when I pulled it out of I cast off the hem and I thought to myself, I'll remember what needle I was using.
Mhm, mhm.
I don't have a clue.
Uh-huh. It's like that safe space when you put things in a safe space. Just
So
call it what
now,
it is. The black hole that you will never find anything in out of
yeah.
again. Ever.
So now I'm going to, I don't know, I'm gonna have to think on this a little bit. And do you think by any chance I wrote down on the pattern?
Nope.
I printed the pattern off. Did I write down what needle size? Please tell me.
Nope.
That
Why would you
would
do that? You won't forget. You'll remember.
oh, but you know what I did do? Thank goodness.
Yeah.
I circled my size. Thank goodness.
Hey, that's more than I do.
Oh, that is a bonus. Yeah, I didn't write down my needle. Oh,
Hey, my circular knitting needles live with the project till it's done. They don't
well,
they don't come out, they don't get used elsewhere. If this is the project they're on, this is the project they stay with till they're done.
But you know what? So I have my project bag here. I have all my ball bands because I'm trying, keeping track of those. They're in here. The book, my photocopied pattern, it's all in here. Everything else is in here, but no needle. Oh, well, it's worth it.
The most important tool to have with you when knitting on something.
I know what it was. I know what it was. Okay, I'm good.
Okay, we're good? Okay.
Yeah. I just had this flashback. I'm sure it was a 4mm.
Okay.
And it is the one that I was using those square needle tips and I broke the needle tip.
Okay.
So if I find, and I know that the broken cable, the long cable and needle tip is still here, somewhere in this room.
I'm not far behind you. I've not done all of my spring cleaning and stuff, so there's just piles of stuff everywhere right now. Which is crazy. You're knitting, like what yarn weight is that you're working on?
It's worsted.
On a 4mm needle.
I knit loose. So I typically go down, and I'm sure, and to get gauge, because this is why I like to knit my own patterns, and so I don't have to get gauge. Get gauge for this sweater, I had to go down to a 4mm, and I probably
all this drapey sweater goodness at fingering.
Yeah.
You can see my stitch there, kind of weird because it's little. This is on a 4mm. This color work is on a 5mm.
Oh my! With fingering.
4mm for fingering weight bodywork.
That's hilarious.
Like, wow, I'm using the needle size you need for a worsted weight sweater. If I was to knit a worsted weight sweater on anything smaller than a 6mm, it would stand up on its own.
It would. That's too funny, right?
Yeah, because I'm so tight. I knit so tight. So,
yes, but okay, good. I am glad that I was able to work that through my brain, and I'm sure it was a 4mm because I had to go a little smaller than I probably would have just to get
quick. Make a note.
4mm. I know.
Make a note. Before you forget.
There, I wrote it down.
But hey, bright side is we finished a sweater off.
I know. And I would have bet money there would have been no way I could have got the sweater done in 2 weeks.
I was feeling pretty confident with a bulky weight sweater. I was like, I could do it. I could do it. And then it was the Monday, and it was like, okay, if this goes on for several days, it could get really tight. Rather than, I could do it. It would be a stretch, but not that hard. To last Sunday after we were done recording the podcast, which everybody would have seen yesterday because they go live on Wednesdays.
Okay.
I was not comfortable with the idea of finishing the sweater. I was like, if I get there, it is because I have slept for 5 to 6 hours a night for the next 3 nights, and I've managed to stay awake on no caffeine to do a full day, to do it again the next day. I'm going to bed tonight and I'm sleeping for 10 hours. I just know I'm going to be out cold.
Crash. Now that the adrenaline and that need to get, you had to get it done.
I'm going to crash hard. I'm going to crash so hard. And that's the part of deadline knitting that I'm like, I love the challenge, but it just, it made me so wary. So wary. I am pushing deadlines a lot more than I should be. And it's why I didn't get any work on my shawl done, because all of my knitting time had to be the sweater, which usually is a recipe for disaster for me. Yeah. Not being able to put it down and pick on something else up for a while. Yeah.
Well, you did amazing, because I thought I thought
my goose was cooked last week. My goose was cooked. I was like, nope, Louise has got it. I'm not even in the running anymore.
Did it. Jill's saying that her sweater knitting or her Christmas knitting has been neglected. I know, because now the pressure, like, because well, Christmas is come and gone, right? So it's like, oh yeah, well now you'll get it done whenever, right?
My pressure starts building first week in April. So I start Christmas knitting in April and I'm done by the end of November.
Oh, I don't like you.
Am I always done everything? No, there's always an additional project. Like I'm working on a scrappy throw for my sister. And I was like, you'll get it at some point. She's like, yeah, call it a Christmas present. It's done. She's like, whenever it arrives, it arrives. So it's one of those things that I can pick up and put down all the time, which she knows is my crafting style. But I mean, it's the same way as I know her baking style is pretty relaxed. So like
Yeah.
I pick the ingredients, not milk or eggs, because I don't use real milk and
Yeah.
I don't bake right now because my sister does it. So I don't keep eggs in the house because I don't eat them on their own. I set up like everything I needed for molasses cookies, for like ginger snap cookies, 3
Oh, they're
weeks
so
ago.
good.
I'm still waiting for
Yeah.
cookies. Because that's just how she bakes. It's when she's in the mood to bake, she will bake all the time. But if you haven't put the request in early enough, you might miss that baking round. And then you got to wait till she wants to do it again.
That's right.
That's fine. I mean, now I'm at the point, the adult that I am. I'm the elder sibling, guys, by 2 years. 2 years. I'm the elder sibling by 2 years. We are almost 40. I go upstairs and I stamp my foot in the smallest child voice I could do. I go, I want my cookies. And if she person like wanders out of the bed, I mean, she's got a half undercut. It's dyed black. The second half of it's red. It's pulled up in a ponytail. She's walking around in her Udi, and she just comes walking out. This is the mom of the teenager, right? And she goes, "Listen, young lady, go make your bed." I made my bed, and I put my pants on, and I ate my breakfast. Where are my cookies? Mommy says you have to make them.
Oh man.
We're adults.
But there's all, yeah. It's like you do it when you want to do it, right?
She knows I don't mean it. She knows I'm just bugging her. She does the
Yeah.
same thing too. She comes downstairs and goes, dishcloths. I'm like, yeah. At some point I'll make you some. It's fine.
Trade them for cookies.
Yeah, pretty much, eh? I will hold your dishcloths hostage till I get my cookies.
Oh, hey, I like this comment. James says, I'm knitting other projects from scratch from now on, and other crafts that I do. I know. I like that idea.
Yeah.
Oh, Natalie says, oh, she needs a countdown. Oh, she needs a countdown if it's not difficult enough to keep my interest. Yeah. Like miles. See, I know, and some people yeah, get bored with the miles and miles of stockinette, but I love it because it's so relaxing.
It really just depends on what's going on. So like tonight's critical role night. This is a perfect night for me to be working on the body of this half moon tea because I will be watching a story unfold live. So like my attention's not going to be primarily on my knitting.
Right.
So having miles and miles of stockinette to do is perfect.
Yeah, because you can just go
Into the story, I can put it down to text Ben. Like there's any number or chat with Jackie. There's any number of things I can do. Pick up, put down, get up, get tea, come sit back down, have a snack, like do all those things and enjoy it. And it's 3.5 to 5.5 hours long that I sit and watch this. It's not short storytelling format. It is
holy smokes, that's a long time.
a long, and they have 125, 126 episodes worth in this
Wow.
one story. So like it is an in-depth telling, and I'm here for it. I am all about it. I love
That's
it.
like, how many sweaters can you get knit
A
in that
lot.
time frame? A lot.
I did my color work charts when I'm watching them because I can listen and then it's the same sort of idea. So like you get a lot done, but I also love being able to, chat with my mom for an hour and a half and work on color work charts for a cowl or mittens or a hat, pick up things and put them down. If I'm running errands all day, it's a sock all the way because I got to be able to pick it up and put it down because I bus. You don't let visually impaired people drive at my level. It's not a good idea. Don't let me do it. Don't let me do it. I can't really see the road. Do not let me drive. Do not let me drive. Bad idea. So it's great. But if you're on the bus, you got to be able to put something down real fast to get off.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, the bus doesn't decide, it doesn't wait if you say, "Wait, I need to finish my row."
That's not how buses work. You gotta be able to drop and go. So, patterns work better for that. The body of a
Yeah.
sweater, not so much. A sock, absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah. Don't need to worry about that.
Yeah.
Oh, Jill's hoping that she'll be on track for this Christmas.
See, oh, it's you get the people who are like, why in the world are you knitting for Christmas in April? Because in December I only knit for myself and it's glorious. It's glorious. I don't have that
So you
last
can get it done.
I can get it done. And I'm not knitting Christmas Eve to finish something because I don't have to.
Ooh. Yeah.
I could go to bed early if I need to nap. Maybe I'm tired from making Santa's cookies. I need to go to bed.
That is an entirely foreign concept to me. It is not Christmas Eve if I'm not up knitting past midnight watching A Christmas Carol.
See, now I'm not going to say I'm not up past midnight watching, usually the nightmare before Christmas, but I don't need to be. It's on something for me. So I get tired and fall asleep. It's
Yeah.
totally all my stuff's wrapped. It's all gone. It's all out. Everybody's got it. I don't need to worry about it. I can get up Christmas morning and start my day.
All right. Well, then you'll have to message me on April 1st and be like, remember, Louise, it's Christmas knitting time now.
Just see that on the Friday night, first Friday in April. All right, everybody, cast on
I'll
your.
have to write you in my planner. Jocelyn said,
Jocelyn started
oh,
today. Everybody start your Christmas knits. It's gonna take you longer than you think it's gonna.
like we don't know that, right? I mean, where did I see where it says, Christmas is the same time, same day every year. So how are we still in the same boat of not having our knitting finished, right?
Does it change? I don't know if maybe it's because if my vision hadn't faded as fast as it did, I would still be working retail. That is an industry I love to work in.
Mhm.
I love the hustle. I love the bustle. I love the hours on my feet. I
Yeah.
was not burnt out by it. I was energized by the pace. I, it was something I super enjoyed doing. And I would still be there if I could be. I can't, so I'm not.
Yep.
That's what it is. But even I would sit there in November and everyone would be astonished that all of my shopping was done. And I'm like, I have worked retail for over 15 years. What makes you think I don't understand what malls do after the first week in November? What? No, 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 no.
Uh,
By the time those holiday seasonal things start, if you're not done, you have to deal with all those crowds. I don't have to.
I know.
I go in, I do my work, and I can leave and go home. If I want to shop, I can shop. There's no stress on me because I'm done. So if I see an ornament I really like, I don't have to go, but I got my Christmas presents. I just buy the ornament.
That,
I don't need to. My
all right.
budget's
I'm gonna try to implement that this year.
it's a pain to get in the habit of. It is a pain to get in the habit of. It's like writing out lists when you make boxes to store your seasonal stuff. It is a pain to get that Excel spreadsheet out every year. It's annoying to have to update it all the time. But oh my God, when stuff starts coming out in stores and you think, do I need that? It is so nice to be able to go pull up that Excel spreadsheet on your phone or your Google Docs and go, no, I don't have that. I can buy it and I won't have multiples. Or, nope, my list says I still have one. I'm fine.
You are so much more organized than I am.
It's a pain to get
I
here.
kind of like it though.
It's a pain to get here. It hurts so bad. It was like you cleaning your knitting room. I watched those
That
videos.
is totally worth it, right?
Oh, it hurts so bad, but it's so good when you're done. You're so excited. I'm halfway through reorganizing
Exactly.
my knitting space, and I'm at the point where I'm like, oh my God, this is overwhelming. I cannot deal with this. I need to walk away from this hot mess. But I know how nice it'll be when it's finished. I know.
Yes.
Get my magazines into my Ravelry stash so I can just look at my magazines digitally and do pattern searches that way, but having them organized by month and by craft. So I'm like, I know where February is. So if it tells me it's a February issue, I know which section of magazines I should be looking in.
Perfect.
Yeah.
I know it does. It's amazing feeling once you get it all done. The
Getting
rest,
there.
though, it's
Oh,
it's hard getting there.
sucks so bad. It's like that point where you get to that point where you're like, your mom is a teenager. Your mom goes, make your bed, make your bed, make your bed, make your bed for like years. Your mother says, make your bed. It'll be so much better if you just get up in the morning and make your bed. I had to apologize to my mother in my 20s. I finally figured out why it was important to make your bed in the morning.
Yeah, it makes you feel accomplished and
I've already done a thing.
yep.
Great. And then when I get home, I have fresh, clean, crisp sheets to climb into because my bed's been made.
Yep.
You just get that whole nighttime ritual of just unmaking your bed to climb into it. And it's just so, but getting there, oh my God, I was like pulling teeth. Pulling for a decade, my mother had to yell at me to make my bed every day. So I was like, why would you make a bed? You just get back into it. Makes no sense. You don't need it. I make my bed every morning now, like the old person that I am.
Maybe that comes with age.
I think so.
Ah,
Wisdom. My
wow.
wisdom stats have increased.
But so you know what? I may not be organized with my Christmas knitting and who knows whatever else, but I know I can knit a sweater in 2 weeks now. So
We both can. How cool is
I
that?
know
So can a
we,
bunch of other people.
we can do it. I know.
Yeah.
So I know Cheryl was working on a sweater. She didn't she didn't get hers quite finished, but she pulled it back a couple of times and kind of worked on her row gauge was a little wonky. So but I mean the fact that not that you don't have to get it done, it's just that you're enjoying it and working on something, right?
Say Cheryl finishes next week. She's still in a sweater in 3 weeks. That's still a sweater in under a month. That is still a
Oh
huge
yeah.
accomplishment. That's a sweater in less of a
That is
month
a big
in February.
yeah, a sweater a month. I like that. I think I may add that into my yearly knitting plan for this year.
Well, that was always sort of been my hope and plan. So I'm gonna by the end of the year I want 12 sweaters. Now, if that means 1 month I'm finishing two
Yeah,
sweaters and 1 month I'm only finishing one, that's fine. So long as I have 12 at the end of the year, I'm counting it as a win.
exactly. Yeah, totally.
And I'm not limiting myself because there are some gorgeous crocheted sweaters out there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, there's one. It's crocheted colorwork cardigan. Also bought the pattern for me. I cannot pronounce it, but I can spell it for everybody. It's Fjell. I'm not going to do it because I'll just get corrected because I'm doing it wrong. And it's a cardigan, and it's a colorwork cardigan,
Ooh,
and it
pretty.
is so pretty, so pretty. And I'm like, nope, it's a pretty fitted colorwork crochet cardigan. I'm making it. It needs to happen.
Do
It
you know
needs.
what do you know what yarn?
No idea. I haven't bought the yarn for it yet. I'm probably going to do, I think, if I sit about it, that Cascade Heritage,
Oh
because it's a
yeah, yeah.
fingering kind of DK one.
Yep.
So I think I'll do it in fingering because, again, I crochet, not as tight as I knit, but still fairly tight. I don't magically flip the other direction when I crochet. And I think I'm going to do the body in the gray like the pattern has, but I
Okay.
think I'm going to make the color pop more pronounced. I just don't know what pop of color I want to do. Mostly because I'm on a teal kick right now, and finding a really good teal is kind of hard.
Yes, teals. But oh, teal and yellow look pretty good together, just saying.
They teal and yellow look amazing together.
They
Do
do.
you know what I need to cast on next? Never mind. In the length of this conversation, I figured out what I got to cast on next. My scowl sweater. I have the blue Cascade Heritage for it in the fingering. I bought it while I was out visiting my parents last fall because I was out in Saskatoon for 2 months because of COVID. So I went out, did quarantine, stayed for a month and a half, which almost
Right.
rolled into 2 months. And then my dad had to stay for a work emergency and he couldn't drive me down right away. So I ended up going like first few days in September and came home almost the 10th of November. So I was out there for two
Right.
months. A good long while, which is good. I love my parents. I don't mind visiting the villa. So I bought that yarn, and I have 2 skeins of lace weight, not mohair or alpaca, just a nice lace weight yarn,
Yeah.
because it calls for a fingering and a lace weight to be held together. And it's a V-necked A-line drapey sweater, or V-neck balloon, like a balloon shaped kind of idea. It's spelled Iskald.
Okay.
Iskal sweater. There's nothing fancy. I'm like Natalie, I'm gonna get bored a third of the way through because there's miles of stockinette once I get those underarms done. But I think that's gonna be my next one. For sure, that has to be the one I cast on, because it's the one I've had known for the longest.
Then that should be it.
That should be it. Yeah.
That should be it.
The monster has sneezed. She might be conscious now.
Oh. Oh. Well, this has been so much fun.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that we've already decided that we're going to do it again next year.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Hey, if you need accountability, I don't mind getting on live with you once a month to see where your socks and your sweaters are sitting.
We kind of froze there. My internet seems to be getting a little.
That's fine. It happens. I was saying that if you need accountability and you do better with it,
I might need that.
We could certainly do like a live once a month. I don't mind. I could always use more accountability in my life. I won't lie.
Maybe we should do that. I'd be up for that.
Yeah. Start for 1st of March.
Yeah.
I think if anybody wants to join us, I'm going to say whips are okay, because I think some people really need to finish whips before they can start new projects.
I think maybe that's what we should do, a once a month check-in.
See where our sweaters and our socks are coming along, because my word, do I need accountability when it comes to my socks. Diana's nice. She's so nice. So nice. She's just like, it's okay. And I'm like, no, you need to be meaner to me. You're too nice.
I think we could totally do a live once a month and just do a check-in on whatever we need a little push to
get finished
keep on track of, or something, or whatever. We could pick a day in March, pick what we're working on, and then kind of know that that's what we need to be done by April when we check in.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, let's chat this week.
You want to do it?
Yeah. Check in with me this weekend, and we'll either do a quick video call, or we can do a text chat or something, and we'll figure out what we want for March. Yeah, let's do it.
All right.
I mean,
we're gonna get stuff done.
What my sweater for March is going to be, but that's because the podcast anniversary finishes next month. It's gonna be this.
Okay.
Because I need to be done this by the end of the month for the knit along I'm hosting. I should finish. Whoopsies.
That's another one that needs. Yeah. All right. So let's chat.
Yeah. Yeah. Give me a message.
Yeah. I think that's a great idea.
When you're free.
Carry on a month.
Yeah, I think so.
See where we're here. I love it. All right. Well. Yeah. Thanks everybody for watching us. And I know my internet the last little bit has been kind of freezing off and on. So
it happens.
I don't know. Hopefully it hasn't been too bad. I know. I think just too many people using it, or whatever. But anyways. Well, I think I'm going to wear my sweater to work tomorrow.
I'm going to wash and block mine tomorrow so that lace panel opens up properly.
Yes. I'm not going to worry about blocking mine. I'm just going to wear it.
But if I wash and block tomorrow, it'll be dry for Sunday, which is when we record the podcast, when we record Northern Knits. So
Oh, perfect. Yeah, then you'll be all set and you can wear it for the podcast. I know. I just love it. I'm gonna wear mine tomorrow.
Oh, so stoked. So stoked.
All right.
All
Well,
right. I'm gonna go get ready for Critical Role. You
yes,
have dinner.
yes. I'm gonna eat something and get settled in with Netflix and some more knitting.
Yeah.
So
Ladies, gentlemen, spaghetti monsters of the internet.
yeah,
This has been a freaking delight.
this has been so much fun. This was such a great thing to do.
So good. So exciting.
Oh, yep. Oh, and Zakia's saying, yep, a monthly live would be great fun. I
Yep.
think it would be. I think that's a great idea. Let's carry on because this has been super fun. All right, so let's chat on the weekend.
Yeah. Let me know if you want to text or call or whatever. Apparently I had to punch myself.
Okay.
I'm stuck in my sweater. I'm an adult. I can dress myself.
Well, thanks everybody for joining us on this 2-week fun sweater knitting. This has been great. So it looks like we're going to be here once a month. So we'll figure out the day and the time and the week or whatever, and we'll post it to let you know when it'll be.
Betcha.
Okay. Well, happy knitting. I got to figure out here where, oh, there I need to go. All right. Bye, everybody. Thanks for joining us. Bye, Jocelyn. Thanks for all the fun. And
stay safe and stay crafty.
That's right. Stay safe and stay crafty. I like that. Happy knitting or crafting, everybody. And we will chat with everybody.